Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 21st of December 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affairs. So watch this video till last. But I am requesting you all the students that you have to download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID. Then click on this Crack Current Affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But how we are covering this current affair? We are providing you daily section. In the daily, you will receive three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again, you will receive three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Most important section is the monthly, and we are providing four type of PDFs. One is detail, second is question and answer format, third is best 100 current affair, that is also provided in the form of question and answer, and fourth one is pocket PDF. It means two liners and the three liners current affair will be provided to you so that you can revise these current affairs in quick format before your exam. But to enhance your performance further, we are providing 20 most important topic wise PDF. It means if you want to cover one particular topic, then you can use this topic wise PDF. If you are a banking student, we are providing three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section. But all these three things are only related to banking and economy. And you can attempt this quiz only on our application on monthly basis. If you want to cover all the past current affair of 2021 just from single PDF, then you can use this exam PDF. We are providing detailed budget and economic survey. Expected question and answer will be provided to you so that you can recall that examiner can make these type of questions from budget and economic survey. If you are appearing for your respective state exam, then we are also providing you state current affair, and we are covering every state and union territory. So all these things comes under only one subscription. You have to just download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID. Then click on this Crack Current Affair section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But if you are a new student, you are just starting your preparation, then I am advising you to subscribe for 2 years. And we are providing 10% extra discount on both subscriptions if you use this code ASH10. And if you have any query, you can email us or you can call us on this number or email ID. So let's start 21st of December 2021 current affair. But first of all, you have to like this video, you have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform, and join our Telegram group from the description box link. So here is the first question. Who became first Indian male shuttler to win silver medal at BWF World Championship? BWF stands for Badminton World Federation World Championship. So two things you have to remember. First of all, you have to remember the name of the male shuttler because he is the first Indian who won the silver medal. Earlier, the male shuttler won the bronze medal, but now this is the first time that we won the silver medal. And second thing you have to remember that this Badminton World Federation World Championship held at which place? So first of all, the male shuttler name is Kidambi Shrikant. So you have to remember the answer. D is the answer. And he belongs to which state? He belongs to Andhra Pradesh. Remember, Kidambi Shrikant, and he belongs to Andhra Pradesh, and he became the first Indian male shuttler to win the silver medal. So you can also see here the picture of Kidambi, and he became the India's first medal at Badminton World Federation Championship. He won the silver medal. And this World Championship of Badminton held in Huelva, and it is situated in Spain. So you have to just remember the name of the country. Even the Indian player Lakshya Sen also won the bronze medal in the men's singles of Badminton World Federation World Championship 2021. So two things. One is bronze medal won by Lakshya Sen, silver medal won by Shrikant, and this championship was held in Spain. And he achieved this feat by winning silver medal after losing to the Singapore player. It means Singapore player won the gold medal. You can also remember because this is also the first time that a men player from the Singapore has won the gold medal at Badminton World Federation World Championship. And you can also remember, like apart from the Kidambi Shrikant, three other men players from India also won this medal in the BWF Championship. Like Prakash Padukone, the father of Deepika Padukone, he won the bronze medal in 1983. Next, B. Sai Praneeth, B.S. Praneeth, you can say, and he also won the bronze medal in 2019. Now third one is Lakshya Sen, also won the bronze medal. It means earlier 3 men player won the bronze medal, but this is the first time that any player from India won the silver medal. So answer of this question is Kidambi Shrikant. He belongs to Andhra Pradesh. But you can also remember about Badminton World Federation. Badminton World Federation headquarters is in Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur is in Malaysia. Moving to next question. Which company awarded with the prestigious Golden Peacock Environment Management Award 2021 in the steel sector? It means one steel company is awarded with this award, which is known as Golden Peacock Environment Management Award 2021. And this company is Steel Authority of India Limited. So answer of this question is C. So Steel Authority of India Limited awarded this award in the steel sector by Institute of Director, or you can say IOD. And it is for the carbon footprint reduction, deployment of the state-of-the-art environment-friendly technology. It is just to save the environment. So you can see here, Steel Authority of India received prestigious Golden Peacock Environment Management Award 2021, and Steel Authority of India has received this award for the third consecutive year. It means this award was won by SAIL, you can say third time. And it is for solid waste management initiative, water conservation effort, plantation, and also to start the environment friendly technology. And this award is very important because this award is a very prestigious award that was instituted by World Environment Foundation in the year of 1998, and it encourages corporate companies to enhance their environmental performance, especially to reduce the global warming. And you can also remember very important place in India, which is known as Jamshedpur. Jamshedpur, which is popularly known as Steel City of India, was established by Jamshedji Tata ji in 1919. So you can also remember this Jamshedji Tata. But important thing, SAIL is very important organization for you. You can remember the chairperson is Soma Mandal. Very important. Soma Mandal. She was the first woman chairperson of SAIL, remember, and headquarter of SAIL is in New Delhi. Moving to next question. So all the most important questions are now over. Moving to very important question section. But first of all, you have to like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform, and join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Which of the following has inscribed in the representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity? And this is by UNESCO. So the Intergovernmental Committee of UNESCO, which is known as United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, 2003 Convention on the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage, has inscribed Durga Puja in Calcutta, or Durga Puja of Calcutta, on the representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. So you have to remember, Durga Puja in Calcutta recently added in the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. And you can also remember that before Durga Puja, the two latest inscriptions in the list which was added from India was Kumbh Mela. You can remember Kumbh Mela. It was added in the year of 2017. And second one is Yoga, which was added in 2016. So these were two recently added in the list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. So you can see here Durga Puja inscribed on the UNESCO representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. So with the inscription of Durga Puja in Calcutta, India now have 14 intangible cultural heritage element on the prestigious UNESCO representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. And the inscription of Durga Puja in Calcutta represent the recognition of the confluence of India's rich heritage, culture, rituals, practices, and the celebration of feminine divinity and a spirit of the womanhood. Because Durga Puja is an annual festival celebrated in the month of September or the starting of October, most notably in Calcutta or West Bengal of India. But also this is celebrated in other parts of India and among us the Bengali diaspora. And it is a 10-day festival. You have to remember, it is a 10-day festival that begins on the 5th night of the 9-day Navratri festival and ends on the 10th day, which is Dashmi, which is known as Dashmi. So just remember this. This is very important because this is inscribed by UNESCO. And one very important, you can remember, Congolese Rumba. I think you have heard about this Rumba. Congolese Rumba, which is a musical genre and dance common in the urban areas of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Republic of Congo, was inscribed in the UNESCO representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. This is also added under this list, Congolese Rumba. And you can also remember about this list, UNESCO intangible cultural heritage of humanity list. This is to ensure better protection of the important intangible cultural heritage worldwide and the awareness of their significance. And the list is published by the Intergovernmental Committee for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage. And you can also remember about the headquarter of UNESCO. Headquarter of UNESCO is in Paris, France. Moving to next question. Which state declared Krishan Balram Rath Yatra as the state festival? Again, very simple question, and this is declared by Punjab government. It means the Chief Minister of Punjab, Charanjit Singh Channi ji, recently declared Krishan Balram Rath Yatra as the state festival. So you can see here the picture of Charanjit Singh Channi ji, and you can also see here the picture of Charanjit Singh Channi ji, and he declared Shri Krishan Balram Rath Yatra as a state festival. And Rath Yatra is organized by the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and the announcement for the same was made during the flagging of 25th Shri Lord Krishna Balram Jagannath Rath Yatra. And he also announced a grant of 2.51 crore for the ISKCON temple in Ludhiana in Punjab. Ludhiana is one of the district of Punjab, and it is considered the second largest congregation of Lord Jagannath devotees in the countries after the historic Jagannath Yatra of Puri in Odisha, because this is the largest, you can say, congregation of the Lord Jagannath, which is held in Puri every year in Odisha, and this will become the second in Punjab, Ludhiana. So remember, 2.51 crore for the ISKCON temple in Ludhiana, Punjab. This is also granted by the Chief Minister Channi ji. And you can also remember Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi, Governor is Banwari Lal Purohit, who was earlier the Governor of Tamil Nadu, but now he shifted to Punjab and he became the permanent Governor of Punjab. Very important. And you can also remember Punjab, Goa, Manipur, even UP and Uttarakhand. 5 states in which elections are due in 2022. Moving to next question. What is the rank of India in 2021 Global Spam and Scam Report? First of all, you have to remember this report is basically published by very important application which is known as Truecaller. Remember Truecaller. So 2021 Global Spam and Scam Report. So this is the 5th edition of this report, and this report lists the top 20 countries affected by spam calls in the year of 2021. And India has moved up in the ranking from 9th place in the 2020, and now India is on the 4th position in 2021. So answer of this question is A, and it is due to significant increase in the sales and telemarketing calls. So remember, this is the 5th edition of Truecaller's annual report, which is known as 2021 Global Spam and Scam Report, and the report is detailed global study on how spam and scam affect all of us. And remember, this report lists the top 20 countries affected by the spam calls in the year of 2021. Even in India, 93.5% of all spam calls were sales or telemarketing calls as tagged by the users. And Brazil has retained its title as the most spammed country. India is the 4th most spammed country, but Brazil is the most spammed country in the world for the 4th year, followed by Peru and the Ukraine. And even Cameroon tops the country affected by the spam SMS. If examiner is asking about only spam SMS, then answer of this question is Cameroon. But you have to just remember Brazil is the top spammed country all over the world, and India's rank is 4th. Moving to next question. You can also see here this picture. Brazil is on the top and India is on the 4th position. And second is Peru, third is Ukraine and rest of the countries. And US is on the 20th position. US is on the 20th. Next is, who is appointed as the brand ambassador of Uttarakhand state? Again, very important question. You have to just remember the question as same as in slide. Answer of this question is very important cricket player, that is Rishabh Pant. So Uttarakhand Chief Minister, who is Pushkar Singh Dhammiji, appointed Indian cricketer Rishabh Pant as the state brand ambassador with the aim of encouraging the youth of the state towards sports and public health, especially to encourage sports atmosphere and also the public health. Even in December 2021, you can remember Salman Khan was appointed as the COVID vaccination ambassador of the Maharashtra. We already covered this question. And Rishabh Pant is a 24-year-old cricketer who was born in Uttarakhand, or especially the district of Roorkee in Uttarakhand. So you can also remember about Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand Chief Minister is Pushkar Singh Dhami. Governor is Gurmeet Singh. And you can also remember very important biosphere reserve is Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. Total biosphere reserves in India are 18 and one biosphere reserve is in Uttarakhand. This is Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. You can also see here the picture of very handsome cricketer Rishabh Pant. Next is, which state launched Mukhyamantri Vayu Swasthya Seva for remote tribal districts? Vayu means air, or you can say wind. Swasthya means health, Seva means help. So just remember, Mukhyamantri means Chief Minister. So Chief Minister, air or wind, health, Seva for remote tribal district, and this is started by Odisha. So answer of this question is D. And Odisha's Chief Minister is Naveen Patnaik. So Naveen Patnaik, the Chief Minister of Odisha, has launched this Mukhyamantri Vayu Swasthya Seva or air health services at the Biju Patnaik International Airport, which is situated in Bhubaneswar. You can also remember the international airport. Bhubaneswar Airport is also known as the Biju Patnaik International Airport, and flagged off the first flight headed to Malkangiri with a medical team. Because you can see here, this is the Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik here, and Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik, Mukhyamantri Vayu Swasthya Seva Air Health Services. And under this scheme, specialist doctors will be flown to the remote areas of Odisha to treat the people suffering from the serious diseases. This is the scheme which is known as Air Health Services Scheme. And the air medical service launched by the Health and Family Welfare Department of Odisha is a part of Odisha's mission to provide free healthcare to all. Free healthcare to all, because this service will be offered free of cost to the patient. And in the first phase, the scheme will be made available for the tribal dominated districts, and in the phased manner, the other districts of the state will also be covered under this scheme. And through this initiative, the people in the remote districts of the Odisha can be treated and operated by renowned specialists and the surgeons of Odisha from the medical colleges. So just remember, it is just to provide the free medical treatment to the tribal areas, or you can say to the remote areas of the Odisha, by providing the special doctor assistance, and this assistance will be provided through the air services. That's why it is known as Air Health Services. And remember about Odisha. Odisha's Chief Minister is Naveen Patnaik. Governor is Ganeshi Lalji. Ganeshi Lal. Very important national park is there. Even Biosphere Reserve is also there. Simli-Pal Biosphere Reserve. Simli-Pal Biosphere Reserve, one of the 18 Biosphere Reserve of India, and one is situated in Odisha. And there is a very famous national park, Bhitarkanika National Park is also there. Bhitarkanika National Park is there. Moving to next question. Which small finance bank has impaneled as the banking partner of the state government of Maharashtra? And this small finance bank is Equitas Small Finance Bank. D is the answer. So Equitas Small Finance Bank has impaneled as the banking partner of the state government of Maharashtra with an aim to offer its services to the employees of the state government. And this partnership will enable this Equitas Small Finance Bank Limited to distribute salaries and allowances to the existing employees, apart from making provision of the pensions to the pensioners. And the state government has authorized the Equitas Small Finance Bank to open salary and pension accounts of the existing and retired employees across 58 branches of the bank across the state of Maharashtra. Even you can also remember that Bandhan Bank, even Karur Vaisya Bank and South Indian Bank have also been assigned the role of distributing salaries and allowances to the government employees in the state of Maharashtra. And the bank is also subjected to withdrawal and disbursement of the funds to the government employees as well as the retiree employees. So remember about Equitas Small Finance Bank. It was established in the year of 2016. Its MD and CEO is Vasudevan, and headquarters is in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. And its tagline is, it's fun banking. It's fun banking. So this is the tagline. Moving to next question. National Highway Authority of India signed MOU with whom to reuse plastic waste? So again, this is very important, especially to tackle the environment. So a memorandum of understanding was signed between the National Highway Authority of India Limited and National Cadet Corps, and even with the other NGOs, so that they can reuse plastic wastage collected by NCC cadets. So you can also see here NHAI inks MOU with the NCC cadets to reuse plastic waste collected by the cadets in the building roads. And you can also see here, so both organizations signed memorandum of understanding, and it is to reuse plastic waste collected by National Cadet Corps during Puneet Sagar Abhiyan. This is very important. Puneet Sagar Abhiyan and other cleanliness initiatives or activities in the country-wide road construction by the National Highway Authority of India. So you have to remember this Puneet Sagar Abhiyan. This was initiated on 1st of December 2021 by NCC, and this is a 1 month long activity aims to promote and create favorable condition for environmental safety. And under this, the beaches are cleaned along the seashores and also raise awareness about the importance of keeping these places free from the plastic waste. So just remember, this is NAHAI and NCC who will clean the roads and also reuse the plastic waste. So very important. And even you can also remember about NAHAI. Its chairperson is Alka Upadhyay. Alka Upadhyay. Remember. Moving to next question. Edelweiss General Insurance partner with whom to offer digital motor insurance? Very simple question. Just remember the question as same as in slide, and answer of this question is PhonePe. So Edelweiss General Insurance has partnered with PhonePe, which is a financial technological firm in the digital payment space, to offer quick and easy digital motor insurance product to all its customers. So this partnership will offer PhonePe customers simple end-to-end digital solution in the motor insurance segment. So in simple word, you can say that PhonePe customers can purchase this digital motor insurance policy with zero paperwork and opt for add-on benefits. And the main vision of the PhonePe is to become a one-stop destination for all the insurance needs of the customers. So now you have to just log in your PhonePe application and you can access this Edelweiss General Insurance digital motor insurance, which is offered by Edelweiss, but it is provided by PhonePe. So remember, PhonePe CEO is Sameer Nigam. Very important question. Sameer Nigam. So don't confuse it with Sonu Nigam, but you can remember with the name of Sonu Nigam. Sameer Nigam, headquarter is in Bengaluru. Next question. Recently, Goa Liberation Day was celebrated. In which year Goa was liberated? So very simple question. It is a static question, you have to remember. Goa was liberated in the year of 1961. Exact date is 19th of December. So Goa, which is an Indian state, was liberated on the 19th of December 1961 from around 450 years of Portuguese rule. Even Goa and Daman and Diu Liberation Day is observed on 19th of December every year in Goa, India. And the Goa Liberation Day is celebrated in commemoration of the Indian Armed Forces annexing Portuguese ruled Goa. And India was completely free from the European rule on this day, because the first to come and last to go was Portuguese. So this was the last state which was under the control of European. So India was completely free from European rule on this day, that is on the 19th of December. Even Prime Minister Narendra Modi also inaugurated and laid the foundation stone of several developmental projects worth rupees 650 crores in Goa during the Goa Liberation Day. Also, there are elections in Goa in the year of 2022, even the starting of 2022. And Goa government has completed 100%, recently 100% coverage of first dose of COVID-19 vaccine to all its eligible population. But you can also remember about Goa here. Goa's Chief Minister is Pramod Sawant. Governor is P.S. Sridharan Pillai. National Park is Molam National Park, very famous. And very famous zoological park is Bondala Zoological Park, very famous. Next is Prime Minister Modi ji inaugurated All India Mayors Conference at which place? So again, very important, because this is inaugurated at virtual format, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, which is Prime Minister of India, virtually inaugurated the All India Mayors Conference, which was held at Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay Trade Facilitation Center, which is situated in Varanasi, or you can say Kashi. So answer of this question is C. Even the Prime Minister constituency is also Varanasi. So around 120 mayors from the different state attended the conference, which was held in Varanasi or Kashi. So the theme of this conference was New Urban India, and Prime Minister Modi also stated that the development of Varanasi can be roadmap of the entire country. And remember, this is the constituency, this is the parliamentary constituency of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and this place is also known as Kashi. Very simple question, just remember the question as same as in slide. Next, who will become the youngest ever president of Chile or Chile? So answer of this question is again very simple, because you can eliminate the options like Olaf Scholz. He became the Chancellor of Germany recently. Next is Karl Nehammer. He became the Chancellor of Austria recently. And answer of this question is Gabriel Boric. So A is the answer. So remember, a 35-year-old. He is just 35-year-old. And he won Chile's presidential election to become the youngest ever president-elect to Chile. And Gabriel Boric will assume office in the March 2022 and will become the youngest president in the Chile's history. And you can also see here the picture of Gabriel Boric, and he is just 35 years old, very young, and he won the Chile's presidential election. He will resume the office in March 2022. And remember, the capital is Santiago, and currency is peso. Currency is peso. Moving to next question. So 50th Victory Day, if I am talking about 50th Victory Day, it means this country was established in the year of 1971. It means I am talking about the country of Bangladesh. And President Ramnath Kovind, 3-day visit to Bangladesh to attend 50th Victory Day celebration. So on the invitation of Bangladesh President Abdul Hamid, on December 15 to 17, 2021, the President of India, Ramnath Kovind, was on 3-day visit to the Bangladesh to attend the 50th Victory Day or Vijay Divas celebrations. And remember, he was the only foreign dignitary invited to jointly commemorate these celebrations, reflecting a strong bond between the two nations like India and Bangladesh. And this was the first visit to President Ramnath Kovind to Bangladesh since the COVID-19 outbreak. And India and Bangladesh celebrate 16th of December as a victory day to commemorate the win over Pakistan and their surrender to our joint forces in 1971, leading to the liberation of Bangladesh or creation of a new country which is now known as Bangladesh. Earlier it was known as East Pakistan. So Bangladesh was created on 1971. Next question again from picture. It is Indian Navy's second indigenous stealth destroyer sails for maiden sea trials, which is known as Mormugao. So on 19th of December 2021, again we are talking about Goa Liberation Day. Indian Navy indigenous stealth guided missile destroyer, which is known as Mormugao, went for her maiden sea trials. And this is second indigenous stealth destroyer is planning to be commissioned in the mid of 2022. And Mormugao is being built at Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited. And in November 2021, recently, INS Vishakhapatnam and submarine INS Vela were commissioned into the Indian Navy. And you have to remember, this is the stealth destroyer sea trials which is done by Mormugao, and it can be commissioned in the mid of 2022. And Mormugao is also a port name, a major port name of the Goa. Now we are moving to the important question section, but first of all you have to like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe the channel if you are new on this platform and join a Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Who participated from India in the third meeting of the India Central Asia Dialogue? It means the Asian countries and Indian country participated under this dialogue, and this is the third dialogue, and from Indian side it is attended by our foreign minister who is known as S. Jaishankar. So answer of this question is D. So you can see here third meeting of the India Central Asia Dialogue held in the New Delhi, and as a part of the third meeting of India Central Asia Dialogue, the minister discussed strengthening the relationship between India and the Central Asian countries. And these Central Asian countries are like, you can say, Tajikistan is there, Turkmenistan is there, Uzbekistan is there, Kyrgyzstan is there, and Kazakhstan is there. So these are the Central Asian countries, and India also participated under this. And the main Central Asian countries focus is on trade, connectivity, and developmental cooperation. Next is, which insurance company signed a partnership agreement with common service centers of the e-governance services to expand rural network? And this insurance company is Liberty General Insurance. So answer of this question is again D. So it is to strengthen insurance penetration in the rural areas across India by selling insurance products through CSC network. And Liberty General Insurance will offer motor insurance products for two-wheelers, private car, and the commercial vehicles to the customer. But the most important thing here is CSC, Common Service Centers of the e-governance. And this is basically to provide the e-governance, and it was started in the year of 2006. And who is the CEO of this Common Service Center e-governance center? CEO is Dinesh Kumar Tyagi. Very simple. So now every service which is provided by Liberty General Insurance can be accessed to this Common Service Center, which are created to provide the e-governance services. Moving to next question. Next is from picture. DRDO conduct flight demonstration of controlled aerial delivery system. So this controlled aerial delivery system is known as CADS system. So it is tested by DRDO, and it is tested in Agra. And the controlled aerial delivery system has the capacity to deliver 500 kilogram. 500 kilogram of payload at a predetermined location through this parachute system. So you have to remember, this is aerial delivery system, or it is known as controlled aerial delivery system, which is known as CADS. And remember about DRDO, it was established in 1958, and its chairman is G. Satish Reddy. G. Satish Reddy. Moving to our one-liner important points, and first point here is Equitas Small Finance Bank Limited became the banking partner of the government of Maharashtra. We already covered this question. Next, DRDO conduct flight demonstration of CAD. Already covered this question. Next is SOLA 2021 report. It is report on land and water system, and the name of the report is Land and Water System are at breaking point. Resources will need safeguarding. So basically this report highlights the worsening state of the earth's soil, especially land, water resources, and the challenges it poses for feeding a global population which is expected to reach 10 billion by the year of 2050. And the central theme of this, you can say, SOLA 2021 is system at breaking point. But this report is basically published by Food and Agriculture Organization, whose headquarters is in Rome, Italy, and Director General is Q. Dongyu. Next, Nagaland government created 3 new districts, namely Seminu, Nuiland, and Chumkudema. So these are the 3 districts which are created. Now the number of total districts are 15 in Nagaland. And remember, the Chief Minister of Nagaland is Neiphiu Rio, and Governor is Jagdish Mukhi. Earlier the governor was R.N. Ravi. R.N. Ravi shifted to Tamil Nadu permanent governor. So the position was vacant, so additional charge given to Jagdish Mukhi, who is currently the governor of Assam. Next, International Human Solidarity Day 2021 observed on 30th of December. It is to create awareness about the importance of solidarity, a socio-ethical and political concept which states that it is fair and just that benefits and obligations are shared between members of society. So that's why it is known as International Human Solidarity Day. Next, Truecaller report, we already covered that India 4th most spammed country in the world. Top position goes to Brazil. And this is the 5th report which is published by Truecaller. Next, moving to the question, 19th and 20th December 2021 question was, expand PIO in relation to the Right to Information Act, which was passed in the year of 2005. And PIO stands for Public Information Officer. So answer of this question is A. So PIO are the officer designated by the public authorities in all administrative units or the offices under it to provide information to the citizens requesting for the information under the Act of 2005. And we can ask any type of information from the government, and this information should be provided within 30 days. And the total fees we are paying under this act is 10 rupees. So you can ask any information within 10 rupees. Very important. Moving to the question of the day. Question of the day is again very simple. Which of the following committee has been constituted to make recommendations on the pay scale revision for PSU employees? So very simple question and very important, especially for the banking students. You have to answer me only in the comment box. And from tomorrow, English video will be uploaded around 11 AM and Hindi video will be uploaded around 12, you can say afternoon. So 12 noon basically. So you have to remember, English video will be uploaded at 11 AM and Hindi video will be uploaded at 12 PM or 12 noon. So like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform, and join a Telegram group from the description box and press this bell button so that you can receive the notification on time. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. Definitely. Don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy like this smiley. Thank you guys. Take care and bye-bye.